Hey everyone, what's going on? You've probably seen the news, the recent earthquake in Myanmar. It's heartbreaking to see the devastation, the lives disrupted, the history and culture impacted in an instant. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Life can change in a heartbeat. 1 minute, everything feels solid. The next, everything's shaken. Today, we're not just going to look at the news. We're going to dive deeper into what this tragedy teaches us about life itself. It's a tough topic, but there are some profound lessons we can learn. Lessons that can help us navigate our own unpredictable journeys. Let's get into it. Think about a weaver bird. These little guys are incredible architects. They don't just slap some twigs together. They weave these amazing, complex nests like tiny hanging pouches. They gather every little piece, strands of grass, dry twigs, soft feathers, and they weave them together with incredible skill, creating a strong, safe home for their young, designed to withstand wind and rain. But here's the thing. No matter how strong that nest is, a big enough storm, a sudden, unexpected event, it can all come crashing down. And what does the weaver bird do? Does it give up? Does it just sit there and mope? Nope. It just starts again. Patiently, persistently, it begins to weave a new nest. There's a powerful lesson in that little bird, especially when we look at what happened in Myanmar. The unpredictable nature of life. Everything changes. The earthquake in Myanmar. It's a powerful example of something we all know deep down, but often forget in our busy lives. Nothing is permanent. Life is constantly changing. It's unpredictable. One moment you have a home, a community, a sense of security, and the next, it can all be drastically altered. We see ancient temples, centers of peace and history, reduced to rubble. It's heartbreaking, and it makes you think about our own lives, doesn't it? How much of what we take for granted could be gone in an instant? This isn't meant to be depressing, but it's a reality check. Life throws curveballs. Sometimes they're little league, sometimes they're major league fastballs right at your head. What matters is how we react. Think about all the things we build in our lives, our careers, our relationships, our homes, our savings. We invest so much time and energy into creating these structures, these foundations. But what happens when the unexpected hits? What happens when the house we've been building starts to crumble? That's where ancient wisdom can offer some serious perspective. Buddha's words on impermanence. The thirsty carpenter. Thousands of years ago, the Buddha, upon his enlightenment, spoke these powerful words. Long have I wandered in search of the builder of this house. Now I have seen you, O builder of the house. You will not build this house again, for your rafters are broken and your ridgepole shattered. My mind has attained the unconditioned. The end of craving has been reached. Now, what does that even mean? The builder of the house isn't a literal carpenter. In Buddhist teachings, it represents our desires, our attachments, our clinging to the idea that things will stay the same, that we can control everything. But the Buddha realized that no matter how much we cling, everything in this world is subject to change, to decay, to impermanence. Think about it in your own life. Maybe you've lost a job you poured your heart into. Maybe a relationship you thought would last forever ended. Maybe you've experienced the pain of losing someone you loved. These are our temples collapsing, our homes being shaken. The earthquake in Myanmar, as devastating as it is on a large scale, mirrors the personal earthquakes we all face in our own lives. The reality of loss. Life's unpredictable path. When we see those images of ancient temples in Myanmar crumbling, it hurts. It really does. But is that so different from what happens in our own lives? Someone who was incredibly wealthy suddenly loses everything. Someone with a loving family unexpectedly loses a loved one. Someone who just achieved a major success is suddenly faced with illness. Our lives, just like that weaver bird's nest, can be swept away at any moment. The question isn't if impermanence will touch us, it's how we will respond when it does. So, when the inevitable happens, when the ground beneath us shakes, what do we do? Do we just give up and drown in sorrow? Or is there another way to navigate these turbulent times? Wisdom in adversity, turning pain into wisdom. The Buddha also taught, when touched by misfortune, the wise do not grieve, do not despair. They understand that such is the nature of all things. But the foolish, when touched by pain, sink into sorrow without knowing how to transform it into wisdom. This isn't about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about understanding that suffering is a part of life, but we have a choice in how we respond to it. We can choose to be consumed by grief, or we can try to learn from the experience, to grow, to find strength within ourselves and in community. We can't control when the earthquakes of life hit, but we absolutely can control our response. That's where our power lies. So, ask yourself honestly, if impermanence knocked on your door tomorrow, what would you do? Would you crumble, or would you find a way to rebuild? Practical wisdom. Giving, purity, reflection. Buddhist teachings offer practical ways to navigate impermanence. 3 key practices stand out. First, dana, giving generosity. When we see suffering, like in Myanmar, reaching out to help, even in small ways, reminds us that we're all connected and that material possessions aren't the ultimate source of happiness. Second, Sila, ethical conduct, keeping our minds and actions pure. In times of crisis, it's easy to get caught up in anger or blame. But cultivating inner peace helps us respond with clarity and compassion. And third, Bhavana, meditation and contemplation. Taking time to reflect on the nature of impermanence, the cycle of birth and death, helps us to detach from the illusion of permanence and appreciate the present moment. So, how do we avoid getting swept away by the constant flow of change? How do we find that inner stability? The answer lies in the present moment. Living in the present, the best day to live. The Buddha taught, do not dwell on the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, but right now, this moment is all we truly have. When a disaster like the earthquake in Myanmar happens, it's a stark reminder of how precious and fleeting each moment is. By focusing on the present, by being mindful of our breath, our surroundings, our interactions, we can find a sense of peace and appreciation even amidst the uncertainty of life. Remember the weaver bird. Its nest gets destroyed, but it doesn't wallow in despair. It gets back to work, weaving again. That's the kind of resilience we can cultivate within ourselves. Rebuilding and helping, weaving together. When the earthquake hit Myanmar, temples fell, meditation centers crumbled, lives were changed forever in an instant. Faced with this impermanence, we have a choice. We can feel lost, hopeless, angry at the world. Or, like the weaver bird, we can quietly begin to rebuild. And just like the weaver bird builds not only for itself, but to protect its young, we too can rebuild not just our own lives, but also reach out to help those around us who are suffering. So, what can we do? Those of us who are safe and watching from afar. We can send our thoughts and prayers to Myanmar, absolutely. But we can also open our hearts and help in tangible ways. Even a small donation, sharing information about reputable aid organizations, sending positive energy, it all makes a difference. Impermanence can feel overwhelming, but our response, our compassion, our willingness to help, that's a powerful force too. Hope and resilience. Impermanence arrives without warning, but how we respond to it, that's the true test of our spirit. We can let loss defeat us, or we can rise up like the weaver bird and weave a new beginning. And if today we can do something, anything, to help someone else navigate the unpredictable nature of life, then let's do it. Let's send our strength, our compassion, and our hope to the people of Myanmar. May peace and resilience prevail.